Back here at Palmyra High School, good evening, everybody. John Repitz. You could say I'm coming in off the bench, filling in for Greg Mace. Greg actually has a day job, for those of you not aware. We're carrying high school basketball live tonight, but there are other high school games going on throughout the area. Greg's on his way back to the station. He'll have highlights and scores for you coming up on the 11 o'clock report of ABC 27 News. So we've got the girls' green in the book already. Palmyra 56-38 winner there. Now we move to the boys' game.
Yeah, and if the boys' game is anything like the intensity of the girls' game, we're in for something. But we're going to see a higher level of basketball here, a game that's played above the rim and with some guys that can get out and get after it.
This is a big game as far as Mid-Penn Keystone is concerned, but it's also some bragging rights for territorial rights here. I mean, these schools are about 3.5 miles apart. These players know each other. They see each other in the community. So there's more than just a game in the win-loss column here. It's something personal, isn't it?
Well, we got a lot of feedback that, hey, why not put the Palmyra-Hershey rivalry on? I didn't even know it was a rivalry. I grew up with Still High Harrisburg, but this is certainly a backyard brawl. And Palmyra, led by Coach Pete Conrad, who's done a great job building this team over the last 3 years, are very scrappy, very competitive. They're going to need a big game from Logan Stovall tonight and Adam Newhart because naturally Hershey has a lot of experience and talent.
Now, if we're going to sum up Palmyra in one word, I guess you would say improving. You said this is Pete's third year. His first year, the Cougars won one game. Last year, they improved. They 7 games. So the Palmyra faithful, I guess, hoping to see that trend continue this year. Is that possible?
Yeah, and they knocked off Hershey last year. Hershey is not coming in this game in any way thinking this is a given. This is a energized Palmyra Cougars. I think the Palmyra Cougars is on most coaches in the Keystone's list of don't take lightly, and they're going to be that team that's going to beat you and probably going to improve their predictions and standings by a couple of notches this year.
Okay, you mentioned Hershey's experience. Their 2 key players, Harold Brantley, Matt Banis. We're going to get a look at them in action coming up here. Everybody who played significant minutes for this team is back this year.
Yeah, well, watch this 280-pound guy going to Syracuse maneuver around the basket. This does not happen every day, ladies and gentlemen. He runs a 4.5 He has the quickest speed on the court. Just watch the game and you'll figure that out in a few minutes. And then you got Matt Banis, who has the luxury at 6'8.5" to have that guy Harold as his counterpart. But Matt Banis, look how put together he is. He had one of the best off seasons of any player in the Harrisburg area. And Matt has a point to prove this year. He wants to bring a championship to Hershey, and he wants to land that Division I scholarship because he will, because he is that player. And watch out, Keystone, because Matt has something to prove.
You mentioned Mid-Penn Keystone. This is just going to be a loaded division this year. You got Cedar Cliff, you got Redland, you got Susquehanna Township, Hershey. It doesn't end, does it?
I talked to Coach Rogers from Susquehanna the other night. There is no night off in the Keystone Division. I mean, Redland was Zangari and the Antonelli brothers. You got Cedar Cliff with the athleticism of Stump, Aru, and Majoke. I mean, you got Lewis now with them at 6'7". You got Will Hopkins, a tough-nosed point guard, and Martinez now coming off the bench. Cedar Cliff is ranked 10th in the state. And then you got Rogers with Jonas Page and that crew, Shaquan Shepard. It's fasten your seatbelt. And we didn't even talk about Devin Thomas and CD and Harrisburg and what they're doing.
Those are the guys in the other division.
In the other division. We'll get to them next week.
They'll have their moments in the sun for
exactly.
us too. Okay. Well, again, if you're just joining us, our first night of 11 scheduled games during the regular season. The girls' game already in the books. Again, Palmyra knocking off Hershey 56-38. We're going to get you through 11 nights of action for Mid-Penn regular season play. Then we move into the Mid-Penn playoffs, then the District 3 championships. And also we have wrestling coming up, our first telecast Thursday night. So exciting things going on right here for us. Okay, we're about a minute away from the start of this boys' game. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the boys' tip-off right after this.
High School Sports Live is brought to you by
Hemp Brothers, paving the way in concrete, asphalt, crushed stone construction services. Keystone State Games, Pennsylvania's largest amateur athletic festival. NK Sporting Goods, partnered with NK Graphics, has been outfitting the teams of Central PA for over 25 years. United Concordia, ensuring America's dental health for over 40 years. Regen, muscle recovery beverage. Experience the raw power of natural cocoa. Groff, tractor and equipment, we're your #1 source for everything under construction. Sun Motor Cars, Come experience Central PA's ultimate driving headquarters.
For generations, Caterpillar has delivered innovative products that help customers build strong, profitable businesses. And for more than 60 years, Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company has been Pennsylvania's source for first-class Caterpillar equipment, service, parts, and rentals. With 26 locations across Pennsylvania, we've grown right alongside our customers, delivering on our commitment to provide a superior experience and maximum value. Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company, helping Pennsylvania prosper since 1948.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Well, we have a special project this year. High School Sports Live is featuring Project ALS. Our friends from Cleveland Brothers are proud supporters of Project ALS, so we are too. And finding a cure for this is our goal. And we, the theme that they have over there, and we're excited to adopt this is we will win. And it's not an individual or a person that needs to fight ALS, but all of us need to come together. And thanks to sponsors like Cleveland Brothers, Arlington Orthopedics, Pizza Hut, and the others, we can do that. And we need your support as well. If you go to pasportslivetv.com, there's a button where you can actually make a donation to Project ALS.
Sounds good. And that'll be going on all season long. Going through some of the pregame festivities here. Again, as if you just joined us, the Palmyra girls defeated Hershey in the opener, getting ready for the boys' game coming up next. And while we have the moment, let's take a look at some of the keys. What do you think are going to be important in this upcoming game, Charlie?
Yeah, our Penn National keys to the game, Hershey's keys would be to exploit that size mismatch. We showed nice footage of Harold Brantley inside and Matt Baina, 6'8.5". And then we have the pressure Palmyra defensively, because one area Palmyra can hurt you is they got a lot of good ball handlers and guys that aren't afraid to cut the defense. So there's got to be some pressure there, because Hershey does not want to get into a slowdown game. They want to be able to try to separate themselves early against this scrappy Palmyra team.
And what about coming up for Palmyra? What are the keys there?
I think Palmyra, on the other hand, has to work the possessions and the clock. Logan Stovall has played pretty well for Palmyra, but he needs to get on the board offensively and get going. And Adam Newhart, they need to step up big and at least give an answer to the front line, the historical front line of the Hershey Trojans.
Yeah, you mentioned the front line. I think that's number 44 all by himself. I'm used to seeing him on Friday nights in a football uniform. And I have to ask you this question. What would you rather do? Try to tackle him when he's carrying the ball in football, or get your feet planted in the lane and take a charge from him on the basketball
field?
field?
In football, you have equipment. So I'm going to go with football because there's equipment. So basketball, no way, Jose. Look at this crowd here, John. Holy cow. Thank you, Lady Cougars, for setting this up for us, and the Hershey Lady Trojans.
Yeah, good crowd here from the hometown Palmyra Cougars. And we're also going to hear some noise down to our left. There's a decent-sized cheering section representing the Hershey Trojans in this one. So we should be in pretty good shape.
We just got a shot at Logan Stovall there, who we talked about. And there's Adam Newhart, number 30. And Sean Robinson, a steady hand at the point. Sean has a lot of confidence.
And Colby Conway rounding out the starting five for the Palmyra Cougars.
Well, and I have a lot of the Lady Cougars here behind me, and they don't want to see the boys team. Actually, they're in the far right corner of the gym there. They don't want to see the boys team lose this game, because then it'll be 1-1. They want to be 2-0 here tonight.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Palmyra High School. We are ready for boys action.
Wow, she is talented. Not only is she blocking shots and running the court on defense, she's singing the national anthem, and that was
you don't often see anthem singers wearing a basketball uniform.
Pretty flawless there. You know what? This is going to be a hot one. We got Mike Bullock helping us with the player of the game tonight. It's going to take the pressure off me a little bit.
When in doubt, defer to Mike, okay?
You know, while we're talking about Mike Bullock, I was looking at those preseason predictions, and I think they were spot on. I mean, this Hershey team did not want to be picked first. They're a close first behind Cedar Cliff. They want that underdog idea, and they want to go into every game knowing that they got something to prove, and that's the best way to approach it, I think, when you're going into a season. But they have experience.
And we are underway. Trojans visiting team in blue, moving right to left. First shot of the night, air ball. Back come the Cougars.
Well, and that's
left
Griffin.
To right in the opening quarter.
And that's Griffin Spinagle. He's not going to air ball every shot. I was a little anxious on his part. He's excited, and that's where the nerves come. But I'll tell you, that Griffin Spinagle, when he's making his shots, he put on a show, Rapids, with you and I back in that Redland Hershey thing.
2 years ago. I still think about that one.
Trip double overtime. It was a spectacular Spinagle lesson from the three-point line that night. I believe he was 5 for 6.
Stovall drives in the lane, shot up, no good, but he was fouled on the play.
Well, and this is exactly what Palmyra needed. They need an attacking Logan Stovall because he's going to be that guy that gives them a fighting chance here tonight against Hershey.
Bit short with the first foul shot. He will shoot a second. And rims out. Brantley.
That's a lot of early nerves. You see Spinagle falling air ball on a three, and Logan doesn't usually miss foul shots.
And a foul at the other end, and that's a spot foul on the floor. So it's going to be Cougar ball underneath their own hoop. Or Trojan ball under their hoop. And Banis outside, no good. Rebound pulled down by Newhart. Cougars running the offense. Robinson, three-point shot. Hard off the back iron, no good. Ball tipped away, out of bounds, not saved. Back inside, up and no good. They're going to call offensive foul. Dan Russling called for the foul on the charge.
Well, that Danny Jackson did exactly what Coach Blackburn teaches and practices, to take that charge. You know, when I was playing, Coach Richter used to give us a Frosty for every charge we took.
Now, you mentioned Paul Blackburn. We haven't mentioned the Hershey coach tonight. I guess we're showing our age. I remember him as the guy who replaced Jeff Lebo in the lineup down at Carlisle when Jeff graduated.
And I think Paul would say replaced might not be the word, just temporarily just filled in. Because it's hard. It was hard to replace Jeff Lebo.
And now we still have the Jeff Lebo connection. He recruited Mike Zangari from Redland.
Yes, he did, and that was a good decision for Mike Zangari.
Robinson from three, long. Banis with the rebound.
Mike will reach his potential under Jeff Lebo. Jeff Lebo was a mentor of mine growing up, whether he realized it or not, just watching his work ethic.
And the Cougar foul is on number 2, Sean Robinson, his first. Team's third already in the opening 2 minutes. Working inside, Brantley puts it on the floor and up, and another foul inside.
Well, what's nice about Harold Brantley is people think, okay, this guy's a football player. His post moves are spot on. I've had the privilege of coaching this young man over the years, participated in the Showcase AAU, but he just knows how to look at this. This is how you teach it. You wrap around. He's not just bowling people over on the sides. He's wrapping that foot around, textbook, and getting that position. The one thing people don't understand about Hershey is there's, Coach Bean has been with these guys, and now Coach Blackburn the last 2 years, but one constant coach that's been at Hershey to work with these posts is Bernie Banis. That's Matt's father, who's spent a lot of time working with these guys. He's been there from the time these kids have been in 5th grade running rec programs and developing them. And Paul Blackburn will be the first to acknowledge that, and or Tim Bean, who was the coach before Paul Blackburn.
Steal by John Miller for Hershey. Banis, three-pointer, left side, is short off the iron.
Yeah, and he'll knock down some of those, showing his versatility.
Robinson setting up the offense. Near side, Newhart kicks it back out. Swing it far side, Robinson drives, dishes. Nice pass out and gets the roll. Colby Conway. It's the first field goal of the game. We're tied at 2.
Well, and we need to point out Jimmy Breyer, starting point guard for the last 2 years on their Mid-Penn Championship team 2 years ago. Oh, nice shot by John Miller. John Miller, who's filling in for Jimmy Breyer. Jimmy Breyer's having some back issues, so Hershey's without their 3-year starter at the point wing spot.
So that three-pointer puts Hershey up 5-2. Stovall drives, no good. Banis with the big rebound.
Yeah, there's not going to be too many second chance opportunities around the basket with Matt. Not the way he's looking. I like to get a shot of his. Look at his physique. There's
nice anticipation.
Kobe.
Brandon Petruski takes it all the way in.
Well, that student section for Palmyra is loving this right now.
Banis drives, and they're going to call him with the player control.
Well, and they're being consistent. It's both ways. It's both ways here. Hershey already has 5 turnovers. Give Palmyra a lot of credit. Here's our Groff instant replay. Look at this. That you know what? That's a questionable one, but I think the referees are more important about establishing consistency. This put Hershey in a 2-3 zone here. Hershey, with their sizes, they're happy with a 50-point game because they're going to have the advantage on the block.
Alex Graybill with the steal for the Trojans. Dumps it in the corner.
Got Garrett Hines, 41, in the game now. Giving Banis a quick one. Banis picked up his second on that charge.
That's Hines with the rebound, keeping it alive for the Trojans. Near side jumper, good. Dan Jackson.
And this is a chance for Palmyra to take advantage. Banis is going to be on the bench for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So they definitely want to take advantage of that.
Loose ball on the floor. Cougars come up with it.
Hershey's responding by getting scrappier.
Newhart short.
Now, he wanted the foul on that. I don't think that was a foul, but there was a little bit of contact. I think these referees want a little bit more before they're going to give that call.
Coming up to the 3-minute mark, first quarter, Hershey on top by a score of 7-4. Buried from the corner, a three-pointer. John Miller.
Well, and that's a nice assist by Harold Brantley, being a point in the post. He got 280 pounds, and now he's a point guard in the post. I mean, how do you handle that?
That's Mr. Versatility for you right there.
He was supposed to hurt you around the basket.
Nice shot from the baseline. Brandon Petruski, his second hoop.
I tell you, Brandon Petruski has come to play. He's keeping him in it right now.
Long jumper from the corner.
For those of you who haven't seen Palmyra play, tuning in right now, this Griffin Spinagle is unbelievable when he gets going.
Brantley on the floor. Hoop. Nice move. kissed it off the glass.
And Palmyra's choosing to go man-to-man, and when you do that against Hershey, you got a man-on-man Harold Brantley, and it may not be possible, ladies and gentlemen. It just may not be possible because there hasn't been a football team in the region that has been able to stop him one-on-one. I don't know if we're going to find a basketball team that can do it one-on-one.
Spinagle with the steal inside brings the Trojans back. Offensive end of the floor.
I think that's why Syracuse wants him.
Brantley, spin move, nice up and in. Banks it high off the glass and in. Mr. Brantley.
Well, he was MVP of the Christmas tournament, or tip-off tournament for a reason. The other day, just it's moves like that to the tune of 26 points in one of the games.
Cougars.
Nice
shot outside.
Logan Stovall. Man, I feel like I was looking through a crystal ball in the pre-game notes here because he is definitely making me proud here.
Another turnover for the Trojans. Let's go to Todd for a comment. Todd?
John, Charlie, one of the things that does not show up in the stats is hustle. 12 points, 10 rebounds in a Saturday night victory. You got to take a look at Griffin Spinagle, little things that he does. Inside here, he's very physical. Also on the Palmyra side, hustle doesn't always show up in the stats, but you got to take a look at Stovall and his athletic ability tonight. He's got to be active along with Colby to keep this Palmyra Cougar team in the game. Back to you guys.
Yeah, good point, Todd.
Stovall again. Short that time off the front of the rim. Spinagle pulled down the rebound. Back come the Trojans. Air ball by John Miller. Back come the Cougars. And at the first quarter buzzer, the long shot is no good. So we're done with 8 minutes in the book. Hershey leads it by a score of 17-11. We'll be back with more right after this.
Advanced Hoops Alumni Spotlight.
Top circle, Scott Etherton going down against the big guy off the glass and in. Determined, go to the basket. Bounce pass to Etherton, and one, and it's good.
Last week, the Patriot News featured Hershey alum Scott Etherton as one of the top leaders in NCAA Division I for completing 76% of his shots. For women's hoops, freshman standout and former Hershey Lady Trojan Kendall Benavie is making her presence known at Westchester University. Meanwhile, the collegiate tradition continues for Palmyra Lady Cougars. At Westchester, Jill Kiefer is averaging 10 points per game. Katie O'Rourke is the third leading scorer for Moravian. Bringing in the rebounds for Pitt Johnstown is Rachel Johnson, and Rebecca Albus is making a solid contribution at Messiah College. Palmyra Lady Cougars head coach Ron Berman has got a lot to be proud of. Scott, Kendall, Jill, Katie, Rachel, and Rebecca are tonight's Advanced Hoops Alumni Spotlight. Dr. Scott King from Arlington Orthopedics is one of the few area experts on hip injuries. His professional hockey career with the Detroit Red Wings is featured in this exclusive interview. Watch as Dr. King explains his own experience with a hip injury and how it helps him identify with his patients. Dr. King goes on to analyze the varying hip injuries that have plagued popular athletes like Bo Jackson, Chase Utley, and Alex Rodriguez. For the full interview, type in pasportslivetv.com.
Okay, we're back here at Palmyra High School. Hershey leads the home Cougars 17-11. Get underway in the second quarter. Jordan Harrow with the ball. Cougars attacking the Hershey zone defense.
Got Kyle is there in the game 24, senior. Kyle's very athletic. Brings a different element to the game.
Ball is stripped. Brantley back the other way for Hershey. Decides to pull up. That's John Miller. Bangs the home three-pointer.
Boy, Johnny is, man, Hershey chose not to come out with Banis. They don't want him to get his third.
And if you're up 6 without him, why take that chance? Why don't you just leave him sit there for a little bit?
Yeah.
That's Miller with a rebound. Spinagle on the far side. Inside to Brantley. Kicks it out. Jumper near side. Three-pointer. Good. That's Addison Murray with a three-pointer. Hershey with its biggest lead of the night, 12 points.
And Addison not known for his three-point shooting. Everything's going well for Hershey. He can knock it down, that's for sure.
Robinson air ball for the Cougars. Hershey looking to expand upon its 12-point lead. It's 23-11. Minute and a half into the second quarter. Miller outside, no good. Loose ball on the floor. Cougars come up with it.
I'll tell you what, Kyle Azera, 6'7", Kyle Azera cannot handle Harold Brantley physically, but he is stepping up to the challenge, and he made that really tough on Harold right there. He's scrapping after loose balls. He contested, got a little help there. You need help against Harold, but hats off to Kyle Azera. He did his job during that time. That was probably the first possession that Brantley didn't have the upper hand on.
Yeah, he's got the length to challenge those shots. Cougars in need of a big hoop here to keep it close.
Yeah, they're going to trust Banis.
Jordan Harrow, no good. Hershey with the rebound. It's Griffin Spinagle. Little move on the baseline. Feed inside. Banis turns. Banks. No good. Back come the Cougars. Robinson ahead to Harrow. Cross court. Three-point jumper. Good! Chris Lynn. Big three-point basket. Just what the Cougars needed. Cuts the disadvantage to 9. It's 23-14.
Yeah, I'm assuming Coach Conrad usually don't call timeout once you're momentum there, but I'm assuming he might want to set up in something here. It's what I'm thinking. But look at this replay. Nice follow through. Nice find by Petrosky, and a nice shot by Chris Lynn. Lefty,
way behind the arc.
Lefty.
Too.
That's a quick catch and shoot, and that's what they teach you. Is to catch and shoot, don't bring the ball down. Nice shot by Chris. And he got pumped up. I'll tell you what, the entire Palmyra team got pumped up. You know, Hershey's 5 for 9 from three-point range. 2 for 10 for Palmyra. That's a 9-point difference, and it's a 9-point difference on the scoreboard. So 3-point shots is the difference here, folks.
5.5 to go, first half. Hershey on top, 23-14. Banis to Brantley, makes the drive, and then count it. Strong move to the hoop by Harold Brantley.
You know, Palmyra is in they're in a catch-22 here, because if you double down right now on Brantley, you got one of the best three-point shooters in the area in Griffin Spinagle wide open. So this isolation makes a lot of sense for Hershey, and Coach Paul Blackburn is exploiting that really well right now.
So Brantley steps to the line, looking to complete the three-point play. Hard off the back iron, no good. 25-14. Favor of the Trojans.
You know, John, I don't know our viewers, if they like us on Facebook, High School Sports Live, they'll get updates, video feeds, player of the game updates all season long. So,
Brantley, nice lead pass to Addison Murray, who makes the hoop and gets the foul.
Look at the quickness of Brantley in the open court, the ability to find a man for a layup. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be surprised at halftime if he's feeding me a hamburger at the concession stand. He's doing everything tonight. Look at that.
So Murray steps to the line for one, and he makes it. So Hershey's doubled up Palmyra here in the early going. It's now 28-14, just under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Let's also know Hershey's used to being on TV. They're used to this atmosphere. You know, Palmyra could be adjusting that a little bit, and they're up against it with this size mismatch. They do need an answer, and there it is.
Nice catch and shoot there. Adam Newhart. Banis puts it on the floor, pulls up. Nice little jumper from the foul line. Good. Cougars down 14. Looking to get a little bit closer.
This is a tough zone to handle. You're playing pressure on the ball. Triangle tight in the middle. Wow.
Stow ball hard off the iron. Here comes Hershey. They're running. Feed to Addison Murray. Up and good. Mr. Murray doing the job off the bench for the Trojans here tonight.
Now he's one of those all-around athletes that Hershey puts out. Coach Paul Blackburn doesn't mind using them. Those multi-purpose athletes.
Everybody, every school, every team needs those.
Go from one sport to the next.
And we have a timeout called by Palmyra.
Cougars call full timeout.
Just a reminder, this is the first night of high school basketball action, but also this year for the first time we are going to have high school wrestling action. First evening of action will be coming your way this Thursday night, 2 nights from tonight. It'll be Middletown at Lower Dauphin. I'll be joined by George Hartwick. We'll be calling the action for you coming up at 7:30. That's the first of 4 nights of high school wrestling here on ABC 27 and High School Basketball Live. Our next basketball game a week from tomorrow night. These same Hershey Trojans travel across the river. They'll be taking on defending Keystone Division champion Cedar Cliff Colts. We were talking a little bit earlier in the pregame about the experience that Hershey has. Cedar Cliff, also one of the most experienced teams in the Mid-State. That should be a good one from the Colts Corral over in Camp Hill. That's coming your way next Wednesday night, December 21st at 7:30 on ABC 27.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I mean, geez, Hershey, Cedar Cliff 1 and 2 going at it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. Cedar Cliff starting out 2-0 and winning the 2 tournament games over the weekend. Hershey undefeated at this point as well.
And that's one thing we have to keep in mind. We are early in the season, so what you necessarily see on the floor right now isn't going to be the same team you see in a couple of weeks after they get all the jitters and everything shaken out.
We're going to have to attack. We're going to find some gaps here, Palmyra, to get something. They're doing a lot of catch and move on the perimeter, but that's the problem there. You try to shoot over. You got the height of Banis to clean it up.
Banis stuffs Petruski.
You have to try to get some angles and try to get to the basket here.
Open baseline jumper, a little bit too strong. Rebounded inside, knocked away by Banis.
What do you do there? I mean, you get your rebound, you get the putback. Now you got 6'8" blocking a shot. This is like not fair. Like
Addison Murray, another three-pointer. Buries it from the corner.
Addison, when you DVR this, I take that back that you're not typically known for shooting that 3-ball. Coach,
he must have heard you, Charlie. He said, I'm going to show him.
Coach Fortney apologizes.
And we got a foul on the Cougars. Team 6th foul already. Here's the replay on that three-pointer. Murray, far corner, gets the roll and bounce off the backboard and in. Actually, that was the team's 7th team foul. So that puts Hershey in the bonus with 2:25 left in the opening half. Stepping to the line is number 22, Dan Jackson, shooting 1-1.
Danny's a great role player for Hershey. I mean, one thing that people don't know about this Hershey group, I've been privileged to get to know these kids for about 6 or 7 years now, ever since 6th, 7th grade. This group has been lock solid together for a long time. Bernie Banis, Ron Greer, the assistant. They've kept these kids together in everything they've done, and the cohesion of this is the best that you're going to see in the area, the Hershey Trojans.
We talked about everybody who had experienced minutes last year coming back. A lot of these guys played 2 years ago as sophomores on a team that won 21 games.
Exactly.
So the experience didn't come just from last year, but from the last couple of seasons. Brantley with the Move inside. Banis.
Stovall has 2 block shots in a possession. Trying to pump. He's pumping up that Cougar Alley over there. Student section. We got to give them a name.
They call themselves Cougar Nation. They were very vocal pregame, but unfortunately they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about today.
I'll tell you what, that guy in green up there is pretty cool looking.
You hate to see him in your nightmares.
You know what, John, coming up at halftime is the Arlington Orthopedic halftime shootout. Here's our girl offensive replay. But we're going to have 7 fans take a shot representing our different sponsors. 3-point shot. Winners get $25 gift certificate to NK Graphics Sporting Goods. So seven contestants can all win.
An issue with the clock.
Hershey's on a 20 to 5
this quarter.
Run this quarter. Holy cow. And that's a smart move by Coach Blackburn. Look, you got away with having Banis in there for 3 minutes. Don't end the half giving him his third, and then you can't start him in the get him to the second half with only 2 fouls. That was heads up.
You're up 21 points. Why not sit him down?
Absolutely.
See if that opens up things. Nice little turnaround move by Stovall.
Nice soft touch from the foul line.
Lob inside to Brantley. Nice cross-court kick out. Miller, three-pointer. Good.
Wow, Johnny's on a roll.
The entire team is on a roll right now. 40-18 as we're under a minute to go in the second quarter. Stovall drives the lanes, going to get the basket and the foul. Cougars needed a hoop and got one there from Stovall.
And you know, I know Coach Conrad's going to be probably thinking this after he reviews the game or whatever, but if you got a guy like Brantley on the interior doing what he's doing, and then you got guys hitting threes, Murray, Miller, Spinagle, combining for, I believe, 7 threes at this point, 6 or 7 threes. We'll get an update here from Jim Gallagher in a second, but man, yeah, 7 threes. How do you defend that, especially when you got hands in their face as well?
Miller was at 3-point range, NBA 3-point range, and thought about it, but passed up.
Hershey exercising some ball control here. They're going to get a last shot.
They'll play for the last shot here.
Palmyra trying. There's a
steal. Colby Conway takes it in, lays it in.
Yeah, that's a good way to end the half.
Ball loose in the backcourt. Cougars with a chance to get one more, and nothing on that one. And we have come to the end of the first half.
We got Todd's going to get Coach Conrad coming off here.
So we got 16 minutes in the book. Hershey on top, 40-22. And we go over to Todd McCall, talking to Palmyra coach Pete Conrad. Todd?
Coach Conrad, one thing you're emphasizing is doubling down on the inside. With some of the perimeter guards of Hershey's hurt you a little bit on the outside. What adjustments you're going to make here at halftime?
Yeah, they really shot the ball well. I don't know what adjustments you can make because Banis and Brantley are so difficult to deal with on the interior. But we'll have to look at what we're doing and figure out where we can hopefully get some help for our big guys as well.
Pete Conrad, second half, we wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Pete Conrad, back to you guys.
Okay, Todd, thank you very much. Again, the halftime score visiting Hershey Trojans, leading the home team, Palmyra Cougars. The score is 40-22. We'll be back with our halftime festivities right after this.
All-state freshman Malia Tate DeFreitas tore her ACL in a heated state playoff, and her dreams seemed shattered.
Tried to come back in and it wasn't working out. I thought that my basketball career was over.
Getting an assist from the doctors at Arlington Orthopedic, Malia is ready to attack the hoop this season.
feels good when I jump and cut and stuff. It feels normal, and the brace really helps me.
To go from tears to a smile, it was just a beautiful thing.
Get ready to start popping with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. It's your favorite Pizza Hut pizza surrounded by 28 tasty cheese-filled bites. You won't be able to stop pulling them, dipping them, and popping them. And right now, a Cheesy Bites pizza with your favorite topping is just $11.99. Plus, add a 2-liter Pepsi and an order of breadsticks for just $5 more. The Cheesy Bites pizza deal won't last long, only $11.99 and only at your Pizza Hut.
For generations, Caterpillar has delivered innovative products that help customers build strong, profitable businesses. And for more than 60 years, Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company has been Pennsylvania's source for first-class Caterpillar equipment, service, parts, and rentals. With 26 locations across Pennsylvania, we've grown right alongside our customers, delivering on our commitment to provide a superior experience and maximum value. Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company, helping Pennsylvania prosper since 1948.
This halftime report brought to you by United Concordia. United Concordia, ensuring America's dental health for over 40 years.
Okay, we're here live for the Arlington Orthopedics three-point shootout. Shooting on behalf of Arlington Orthopedic is Josh Sullenberger. Josh, give it a crack. If Josh makes this, he gets a $25 gift certificate to NK Graphics Sporting Goods. Okay, there's nowhere to go but up for Dominic Fiola. Dominic Fiola, he's got his hard hat on here. He's getting ready to shoot on behalf of our partner, Cleveland Brothers. Go ahead, Dominic. Oh! We have our first winner. Our first winner. Dominic, come on over here. We need our winners to stand over here. Now we have Penn National Insurance. Representing them is Sully Bortner. Sully. Okay, moving right along here, we have representing Huffman Ford is Andy Ciscaretti. The John Barry approach. Okay. I'll tell you what, Dominic is looking better and better here. Okay, representing Pizza Hut is Sophie Richardson. 5th grader for Palmyra. Oh, okay. Our last shooter, Amelia Baldo, representing KHB Insurance. Okay, let's give a hand to all of our participants. And especially Dominic, who won the $25 gift certificate.
Okay, we're at halftime. Hershey boys lead the Palmyra boys 40-22. We'll be back with more at halftime coming up right after this.
You've seen a lot of my sons, Todd and Ryan, over the years on TV. In fact, we've all grown a lot during this time.
We're all still here and stronger than ever. Now you can see me when you come into Hoffman Ford.
And I won't be far behind.
For 59 years, there's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in this showroom, delivering you the courtesy and respect that you deserve since 1953.
Come see what keeps our customers coming back generation after generation. Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Dr. Scott King from Arlington Orthopedics is one of the few area experts on hip injuries. His professional hockey career with the Detroit Red Wings is featured in this exclusive interview. Watch as Dr. King explains his own experience with a hip injury and how it helps him identify with his patients. Dr. King goes on to analyze the varying hip injuries that have plagued popular athletes like Bo Jackson, Chase Utley, and Alex Rodriguez. For the full interview, type in pasportslivetv.com.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Hello, can I help you? Oh, no need to worry, Mrs. Smith. My grandfather is Russ Baylor himself and has been in business for over 30 years. At Russ's Auto and Trailer Sales, we have it all. We specialize in selling a complete line of trailers, a variety of used cars and campers. Our service department can do it all. And we even have a nice guy named Justin who answers the phone. And what do we tell him, Maddie?
Nobody fusses at Russ's.
Look into the sun for coverage of student athletes from Palmyra, Hershey, and Lower Dolphin. Drew Weedman and the Sun staff are dedicated to weekly coverage.
Extra, extra! Read all about West Shore student and team success with the growing popularity of the Carlisle Sentinel, the pace setter in Carlisle and West Shore Sports Review.
Patriot News has covered the region of Harrisburg since 1854, from all-star selections to championship reporting, the leader in central Pennsylvania sports news.
Back live at Palmyra High School, opening night of high school basketball live on ABC 27. If you're just joining us, earlier this evening, the girls' game, the Palmyra Cougars defeated the Hershey Trojans 56-38. Now in the boys' game, we are at halftime, and it's Hershey on top by a score of 40-22. Hershey was on top 17-11 after the first quarter, but really took control of the game in that second quarter, outscoring Palmyra by a count of 23-11. And Hershey just clicking on all cylinders, playing tight defense and using some superior outside shooting. 23-11 in that second quarter, Charlie. The Trojans really took control of the game.
Palmyra is that they ended the half with a couple steals, couple buckets. Hopefully that's something they can build on going to second half. But there's no real answer, fairness to Palmyra, for the physical size of Banis and Brantley, and that's something that I'm sure Coach Conrad's talking about and trying to maybe re-strategize at halftime. But you know, he's not going to be able to turn water into wine here. You know, there's a real difference on the size. So hopefully Palmyra can get hot in the second half and make this interesting.
When the team has a big size advantage, you have to make your shots, and so far those shots haven't been falling for the Cougars. So we're still at halftime. A couple minutes to go before we tip off the second half. We'll be back with more from Palmyra High School right after this.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us. We believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
Sports Live. This is the United Concordia halftime report. Again, Hershey leading Palmyra 40-22. Todd, what are your thoughts on the first half?
This halftime report brought to you by United Concordia. United Concordia, ensuring America's...
These guys know each other. I didn't think that was expected scouting report-wise, but that's changed the outcome of this game right away, and it built a huge lead for Hershey.
And you didn't really expect to see Banis sitting on the bench as much as he did because of the fouls.
No, he picked up the 2 early fouls, and you know you got to let your big guy get out of those silly foul situations. Don't reach around the ball. He picked up a few where he's just being physical.
And if you're Paul Blackburn, you're thinking, my big guy's sitting on the bench for a lot of the first half. I'm leading by 18. Well, what does he say at halftime?
Right now, he's just saying, go hard, continue to go hard, stay consistent, do the things that got us here in this lead.
Yeah, and Logan Stovall held serve and stepped up offensively. Palmyra's just going to have to be a team effort of players contributing in all different kind of ways. And they're going to have to find a way to be scrappier and tighter on defense and not allow Brantley to get so many one-on-one situations.
And third quarter action is underway. Hershey attacking left to right here in the third quarter. Brantley kicks it back out, gets it feed back inside, and they're going to call a foul inside.
Well, and immediately they did a double down on Brantley, which they weren't doing in the first half because of the shooters that Hershey has, but it's a no-choice situation at this point.
So Trojans inbound. Spinagle takes it, kicks it out. Shot far side, good. Dan Jackson.
That's just fundamental basketball here. You have, penetrate, draw, and kick. Defense isn't necessarily doing anything wrong either. It's just Hershey's just playing a great basketball game, and they're pumping on all cylinders right now.
Cougar Sean Robinson kicks it back out. Jumper outside. Dan Rustling gets the basket.
Yeah, and Palmyra, they're going to need more of this.
They're going to have to start making the shots. Outside to Brantley in the lane, off the leg.
There's Rustling.
Rustling picks it up off the glass. Okay. No, but he's going to get the foul.
Rustling providing a spark for Palmyra, and that's what they need. They need it coming from every direction here. This is a good start for Palmyra.
Dan Rustling shooting 2.
They're down 18. Rustling with a couple of free throws to try to cut it a little bit more. He makes the first. Rustling with one more. No good off the side of the iron. Brantley with the rebound. Hershey up 17. Looking for more. Brantley out high this time. Behind the back in the lane. Loses it. Gets it back. And it goes over the end line. They say he was the last one to touch it.
Steve Cover, veteran official, was right on top of that one. Brantley getting a little too cute for Blackburn's liking there. I think he wants Harold to get back to what got him here, and that's just keep it simple. So 17 points.
Stovall loses the handle. They said it was off a Hershey player, so Cougars will retain possession. Robinson to inbound. Lobs it up. Conway pulls it down. Back to Robinson on the baseline. Cougars kick it back outside. Set it up again. Swing it far side. Jumper, long three-pointer. Adam Newhart gets the three.
Well, we're looking at a 7-basket game right now here. Actually, 5 if you consider 4 if you consider 5 if you consider the three-point line. And look at the scrappiness of the Palmyra defense. You got Brantley handling the ball.
Nice dish. Bain is hard, strong to the hoop and makes it.
I tell you what, Spinagle is doing a great job of filling in and helping out at the point guard spot. Not having Jimmy Breyer is a big loss. And Johnny Miller, a little winded from that performance in the first half. Airs out of him a little now. I mean, here's Spinagle taking over some point guard responsibilities. Here's a great shooter at the foul line, Matt Banis. That form and his form on his shot for a big guy is textbook.
Cougars were on a bit of a run there until Banis stemmed that tide with a three-point play. Loose ball, Spinagle looks to set it up. Jackson feet inside to a cutting Spinagle. Gets the basket and the foul. Here's the replay on this one again. Nice little give and go. Down the lane, off the glass, and in.
I think what we've seen tonight, John, is a lot of fundamental things tonight. Like you see give and goes, you see back doors, you see inside outs, you see isolation in the post. Hershey's pretty much, you see the dribble kick, pretty much scoring every way that you can score a basketball. It's just a fine start to Keystone, rivalry basketball here.
And you would expect to see that from a veteran team, a team that's played together for a couple of years.
And Coach Conrad's going to use this as a teaching tool for his guys. The game's definitely far from over. It's they're going to keep fighting here, and who knows, but he's definitely going to use this as a teaching tool for this team, this developing team.
Banis kicks it into Brantley, and there's a hard foul underneath. Hard in basketball terms, but I'm sure he's used to contact like that after what he did during the recently completed football season. So Brantley's going to step to the line. Makes the first. Here's another look at that foul.
The one thing that should be noted here, look at the unselfishness with these guys. There is not one guy. What's the most dangerous thing about the Hershey Trojans is there's not one selfish player on this basketball team. These guys eat, sleep, and drink and play basketball together, and they've been doing it since 6th grade. So they're going to do whatever it takes to sacrifice for this team to achieve this year. And I think that's probably the most effective tool for this team, and it's something you can't really deal with on the scouting report.
The Hershey lead is back up to 20. 48-28, long shot. No good. Palmyra gets it back. Flat jumper from the corner, almost bounced in. No good. It's loose. Over the end lines. Ball's going to go to Hershey. Chris Lynn, who supplied a bit of a spark in the first half for the Cougars, comes back in off the bench. And they're going to call offensive foul on that one.
You know what? I'd like to see the instant replay on that.
Let's take a look at that one again.
You know what? That looks like the Michael Jordan move against who was that for the Utah Jazz? Who was it? Yeah, that looks like Michael Jordan's deal when they won the championship to get his open jump shot. So I agree with Griffin. He should be upset about that.
Long jumper by Newhart, no good. Hershey, just nice save by Banis.
And that's probably the right pass. I don't think Matt realized how good of a point guard Griffin Spinagle was because he led him perfectly.
Off the backboard, no good by Conway. Outside jumper, no good by Harrow. Brantley pulls down the miss. Things getting a little sloppy here. Drive, an offensive foul called that time on John Miller.
Wow.
John Miller, his first, team's third.
Yeah, I would say, yep, that's a charge. And I'll tell you what, every one of those has been a charge tonight. There's been a lot of consistency here with our officiating crew tonight. All right. I tell you what, like us on Facebook, High School Sports Live. If so, you get an advantage. You not only get live updates, you get video feeds, you get at the game action. You get updates throughout the season on your Facebook. So be one of those hundreds and becoming thousands of people in the Harrisburg region that are liking us on Facebook. John, it's this is a tough situation for Coach Conrad right now. People are saying, what do you do as a coach? I'm kind of curious what Todd gets after this timeout. But let's find out what Todd's up to. Oh, you know what? Todd's actually he's hanging out with some students.
Okay, Todd.
John, Charlie, I'm here in the Palmyra Nation. I'm with Marissa. Marissa, I just got to ask you, do you plan on keeping this intensity up throughout the whole year?
Yes, we do. This is our school. This is our home. This is our team. We love them. We support them. And we're going to come to every game with this intensity. Go Cougars!
Well, you heard it right here, live in the Cougar Nation, they're still going hard with their team. Back to you guys.
Well, we won't call that little slip of the tongue there on you.
Well, you know what? That points out. Todd McCall, former Susquehanna high school head coach. Todd's a great basketball guy, and he still has Susquehanna on his heart because when he said Hannah Nation there. So we got to explain that to the viewers. Okay.
Hershey on top by 20.
And look at Palmyra coming out in a very hard man-to-man.
Banis jumper rims out, no good. Petruski with the rebound for Palmyra.
I think it's the right idea, Coach Conrad, sticking with a man-to-man because his players need to get this workout against one of the best here in the mid-state in Hershey Trojans. Nice shot by Stovall.
Logan Stovall buries a three from the outside.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Logan's come a long way with his versatility and still only a junior, John. Had 37 in a game last year.
Kind of like you.
Oh, I don't know about that. Fame is a vapor, and I've evaporated at this point.
I bet you could still put up 20 if you tried.
Not against these kids. Maybe the over 40 league at the Friendship Center of the YMCA, but I'd hurt an Achilles against these guys.
I'd get sore just watching. Banis is going to go to the line to shoot two.
I'm being told by our stat hit guy, Jim Gallagher, here that the over 50 league has a spot open for me. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that.
Banis missed a pair, so it's still 48-30.
Yeah, Palmyra wants to capitalize on. They're running a high post set here. They got Stovall and Petrosky. Oh, they're isolating. Nice.
Hoop, knocked down, put it back up.
No good. Oh, man, that hurts that didn't work because that was a nice isolation.
Did everything but put the ball in the hoop.
He had a nice angle there. I think Conrad wanted a foul there. It was a nice take. Usually referees will reward the players when they have an angle like that.
Banis drives baseline. They're going to call a foul on the drive.
I tell you what, that high post looked good. We might see more of that here in future possessions.
Hershey inbound under the basket. 1:23 left in the third quarter. Trojans lead by 18. Inbounds pass stolen. Cougars look. Three-pointer corner, no good. Brantley clears the miss.
That's tough because if those shots don't go down, you just aren't getting the second chance opportunities with Brantley and Banis inside. They just have such an advantage on the rebounding side of the ball.
You just clean it up. Nice feed inside. Banis, tough shot.
Wow, hats up. Griffin Spinagle, point guard, .2 guard out here today, finding. I don't think he's been getting enough credit for his passing skills, but he's making some great passes tonight. Look at this. He knows these guys know each other.
Nice hard two-handed overhead pass. Banis back to the line, makes that one.
John, have you seen a guy 6'8" put together like this in a while? This One thing in talking to Matt's father this offseason, Matt lived in the weight room, lived at the powertrain there with Steve Saunders and Lancaster. Man, it shows. Okay, this is going to get interesting. I tell you what, we got a couple nice performances here. We got Johnny Miller from the 3. Our Huffman 4 player of the game is going to have to be decided by probably Mike Bullock as he sits in here with us between the 3rd and the 4th quarter. I'm curious his opinion because, you know, you got Brantley around the hoop, you got Spinagle, you got Miller hot from the outside. John, I don't know what you think. Who are you leaning toward player of the game at this point?
I don't like to tip my hand too early.
You don't like to tip your hat too early, okay.
Right. But we still have some ball to play yet tonight.
Well, and we're going to stay in during the quarter break so we can talk about that.
Pair of foul shots for the Cougars. They still trail by 18. It's 50-32 as we come up to the 42nd mark to go in the 3rd quarter. Offensive foul called on Hershey.
This third, team's 5th. Darren Hines and the Hanford Trojans.
30 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Palmyra with the ball in the lane, up and good.
2 for Jordan Hall.
Now 50-34, leads cut to 16.
I'll tell you what, it's 16. I think Todd was right. That young lady was right. That crowd is not going anywhere. They're inspiring their team right now.
16-point game, a chance to cut into that. Plus, Palmyra had some other opportunities on that the one play inside. It could very easily be a 10-point game right now.
Well, and that's the second time in a row that Kyle Azair has come in and he's inspired his team in some way or the other. He's providing a spark.
Time running down. They unfortunately do not get off a shot. So we've got 3 quarters in the books here in Palmyra. Hershey Trojans lead the Cougars 50-34. Now joining us is sports writer extraordinaire Michael Bullock from the Harrisburg Patriot News, and Mike's just getting the headset on. He didn't hear me. I called you a sports writer extraordinaire. Does that fit the bill for you?
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere, John.
Well, what do you think
Thank you.
What do you think of the first 3 quarters so far?
I'm surprised a little bit how quickly Hershey was able to, how well they shot in the first half, and when they used the transition after coming out of the 2-3 zone. I thought the 2-3 was a huge move, especially with Banis in foul trouble, and they shot the ball so much better tonight than they did Saturday when I saw them against Milton Hershey. So, and then Palmyra I think is kind of caught in the moment maybe in the first half, and they're still trying to climb out of the hole.
And one thing we talked about was this is Palmyra's first crack being on television. Hershey's lived on our TV broadcast, and with the experience, the size. But I'm more curious about what you're thinking about player of the game at this point.
Well, I'll tell you what. I pointed to John Miller right out of the bat. As a kid who shot the ball extremely well in the first half.
Yeah.
Couple off kicks from Brantley. Murray, comes off the bench.
Where did that come from?
Yeah,
right.
and then Brantley has been Brantley, at this point in time, and it's hard to overlook. Hershey is Hershey. It seems like I think it's going to be a story all year.
Yeah.
That you're going to see somebody different step into the spotlight because it's a real cohesive group.
Well, what a lot of people I was saying earlier don't know about Hershey is Paul Blackburn's been there for 2 years, Bean before that, but the two constants are Ron Greer and Bernie Banis. Since these boys have been in 5th, 6th grade, Bernie Banis has been coaching them and making sure they stay together unselfishly, and that's Matt Banis' father, Ron Greer. So, I mean, hands off to the unselfishness of these men and how they've taken these kids. These kids have slept over together. They've gone on trips together. If one didn't have enough money for food, they would pitch in and pay for it. It's a true team.
Well, I think that's the small town neatness of this, and you growing up in Stilton and me watching this in Millersburg. You know, we know when you have a group that gets together in 4th or 5th grade and they stay with it, you just can't break open those bonds at that point in time. And Paul will actually tell you, he'll say, this is a band of brothers. They fight like crazy with each other in practice, and the next thing you know, they're going out to eat after everything's over with. So.
Oh my gosh, Mike, how do you fit? Naturally, I think everybody did. You pick Cedar Cliff's talent over Hershey in the standings and the pre-projections, but what are with this team chemistry and this balance? What do you see as their chances not only in the Keystone but just in the districts and states?
Well, obviously they're motivated because they didn't go as far as they thought they should have gone last year. And I think that's kind of their goal at this point, is to make a deeper run at that point in time. They're going to play a lot of close games throughout the course of the year, I would imagine, just because of the style of play.
Well, and it looks like Palmyra is getting some wind here. They're only down 14.
Down 14 points while we've been chatting. They made a couple of foul shots. This is the closest they've been. And now we have an intentional foul being called here.
Yep. Well, Mike,
there's the loose ball, and there's the tackle,
yes.
and there's the immediate intentional foul called.
Wow,
so Robinson's going to go to the line. He misses the first. He's going to shoot a second.
Yep.
And then they're going to get possession. So a chance for Palmyra to really close the gap here.
Mike, thanks for joining us. We're looking forward to your vote on player of the game here in a few minutes.
I'm telling you, this one's a tough one just because of that closeness, that cohesiveness with Hershey. So, of course, who knows what's going to happen here the last 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Who knows?
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Sure, Mike.
We're going to be leaning on you all year. Don't be thinking you're going anywhere.
You're part of the family now, pal.
That's trouble.
Long three-pointer is good. Just like that, folks, we have ourselves.
Well, wrestling started out to half inspire them. Now it's they gave him a 2
Gave
on
him a 2. I thought it was 3.
Wow.
It's 50-39.
Did you see the hand signals on 3 there? Well, let's see.
Nice cut to the hoop. Banis with a follow-up. They did give him the 3. Okay, it is 40.
Okay.
It was 50-40. But Banis with that nice move to the hoop. It's now a 12-point game once again. And Banis with a big block.
Big block shot. Look at him out on the break, looking like a guard. Look at this.
And he takes it in, but no.
Okay, a clearing out call. Yep. Well, this is why Harold Brantley's getting ready to play football at Syracuse. He just set a moving screen, but boy, I like watching that replay of Matt Banis with the thunder dunk.
Oh, there you go. Adam Newhart with a 3. And it's a 9-point game now. Batten it down, folks. 9 points with over 6 minutes to go. We're not done yet. Hustle on defense. Ball gets kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a good timeout for Coach Paul Blackburn. Look at this nice passing. Wow. Textbook looking shot there. Provided by Groff Replay. I'll tell you what, Coach Conrad right now is exciting his players. I'll tell you what, he's keeping them in this game with just defense, grittiness. I thought it was a great move when Coach Conrad had started going to that 1-4 high. It changed things up on offense. Curious what Todd thinks.
Todd, do you have anything to add on this?
John, Charlie, Palmyra's managed to get back in the game with decent penetration, and now the guards are stepping up to hit big shots. Look for Hershey maybe to move out of this zone, start picking up man-to-man, and Palmyra full court pressure on any makes. Let's see if they can get themselves back in the ball game. Back to you guys.
Okay. 6:06 to go, 9-point game, 50-43.
Yeah, and I think if they go man-to-man, that favors Palmyra's fighting chance here because they are smaller and a little, and being a little scrappier is going to be what they're going to have to hopefully their advantage. Maybe exploit Banis a little there, having to guard a smaller guy, but we'll see what happens. Palmyra's got some real aggressive defense.
Robinson with the steal. To the hoop, no good, and they're going to call a block.
Yeah. And I think our offense and replay is going to show us that Hershey came over too late on that one. That's a good call by the officials. Yeah, that was not quite set.
And he kind of twisted into him, too. So
I'll tell you what, Dan Rustling, Sean Robinson, the scrappiness out here. Kind of interesting to see how Hershey handles this run here and how they answer. You got Brantley on the bench right now getting some rest.
Rustling buries a pair at the foul line. So it's now a 7-point game. Hasn't been this close since late in the first quarter. And unfortunately, that defensive pressure, you're going to call Robinson with a foul in the backcourt.
Sean's going to have to be careful here. I know he's excited, but...
And I always hate to say it, but this might turn out to be a foul shooting contest because Hershey's already in the double bonus. One more foul by Palmyra. And they too will be in the double bonus.
Tell you what, these fouls are paying off, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Coach Conrad, the referee asked Coach Conrad to take care of the student section. Very excited, but they were using noisemakers, which is against PIAA sportsmanship guidelines. Right. So he took care of it.
Cougars with a chance to get it even closer. And it's getting closer, folks. Rustling buries the shot. It's a 5-point game, 52-47.
And this is what we were talking about the danger of Palmyra. We just haven't seen it till this last 4 minutes, but it's been enough because this is a 5-point game.
It's amazing what a couple of made shots will do for you. First half they weren't falling, second half they were.
Into the big man.
Low post, nice spin move, short off the rim. The Cougars with a chance to cut it even more.
Brantley coming in for Hershey.
Off the rim, no good. Spinagle to Jackson. Ahead to Banis. Baseline. Strong to the hoop and makes it. Four and a half to go. Hershey on top, 54-47.
Folks, this game was 40-18 at one point.
Cougars with another chance. Chris Lynn drives, dishes, inside, and they're going to get the foul on Banis.
Nice penetration and kick by Chris Lynn, but it just seems like Dan Rustling is at the center of every good play here for Palmyra in this second half. Nice pass by Lynn.
Nice no-look pass.
I think that foul call was a coming over the top, over the head. That's usually an automatic whistle.
Rustling makes the first.
You know, we have not seen Garrett Hines or Addison Murray in a while. You would be curious to see if Coach Blackburn would go to Hines. This Palmyra looking like 9 guys is starting to pay off for them because they're looking a lot more rested right now than Hershey.
Jackson to the hoop, makes it. Strong move to the hoop by Jackson. 7-point game now as we hit the 4-minute mark. Rustling, jumper, no good. Jackson with the rebound. Miller, been quiet since the first half. Inside, nice feed, Banis to Brantley. Can't draw that up any better. 58-49 now. Hershey starts to pull away. And Palmyra is going to call a timeout. So the Cougars making a game of it. They got it to 5. They can't get it just any closer than that just yet.
Well, and as soon as Brantley goes in the game, you know, Banis and Brantley, the B&B brothers we call them here, and those guys practically live at each other's house. I mean, from what I gather being around these boys and over the years, I mean, you know, we might as well just call them the B&B brothers.
Yeah. And, hey, if you enjoy what you're seeing from the Hershey Trojans tonight, tune in our next telecast, which is coming up a week from tomorrow. These Hershey Trojans travel to Cedar Cliff to take on the Colts in what should be one of the better games of the year anywhere, in not only Mid-Penn, but maybe in District 3. And also a reminder, it's not just basketball this year. It's also wrestling. Our first telecast coming up Thursday night. George Hartwick and I'll be calling the action. Middletown at Lower Dauphin. That one gets underway at 7:30, so tune in then.
Okay, we have a 3-basket game here, 3-possession. Palmyra has they're 4. Looks like they're 4 for 10 from the 3, which has helped them in the second half, but only 3 for 15 inside the 3, and that has a lot to do with the size of Banis and the block shots, and the that's where he's more valuable than the points.
Nice head fake by Rustling, drives the lane, gets the basket and the foul.
If you can get a shot at this student section when Dan Rustling catches the ball or does something, you can tell he's one of the crowd favorites. Wow, this is playground basketball here, guys. This is having fun and not wanting to lose and have to sit out.
Misses the foul shot, so the margin is 7. 58-51, 3:10 left. Spinagle to Banis down the lane, up and in.
Wow, again, Griffin Spinagle with his passes tonight, and then look at Matt cutting to the basket. Again, fundamental basketball. Brantley on the perimeter, Rustling. Tell you what, Palmyra has expended a lot of energy coming back. We're starting to see a little of that fatigue.
Miller in the lane, feeds it, back out, kick to Banis, no good. Rustling pulls down the rebound. Shut off Rustling that time down the lane. Driving baseline, blocked, up again, no good. Banis pulls down the miss. Miller for Hershey. Pulls it back out. Push inside. They're going to call Rustling on the foul.
You know, Banis.
That Banis shooting 2.
Matt makes the first.
You know, Banis has done more than just score points. He's blocking shots, key rebounds, altering shots, stuff that's not in the stat column, making foul shots here at the end. He's making a case for himself right now. And I mean, I don't think Brantley would mind because he got MVP of the tournament over the weekend. They'd probably just be happy to share the wealth here if we picked him as player of the game. That's how these guys operate.
Under 2 minutes, the lead's back up to 11, 62-51, 1:45 to go. Kick outside, Robinson tries to drive, and they're going to call him on the foul.
Yeah, that is actually a block unless the arm comes out, and Sean didn't put that arm out to push down, and he's just trying to make something happen at this point. He wants to make a competitive play, and I don't blame him.
And that was the 5th foul for Sean Robinson, so he's going to have to sit out this last 1:38. Chris Lynn checks back into the Cougar lineup to replace him.
It's hard to imagine he got 280 pounds doing blow-by moves out there.
He ran right in front of us. I didn't even feel the floor shake.
No, I just felt the wind. I felt the wind of his presence.
Light on his feet, folks.
I don't mind saying this on air. I have a good relationship with the family, but this is a kid I taught in Sunday school at church when he was younger. Just what a good kid, good family. Just an all-around person. Syracuse is definitely getting a gem here in Harold Brantley, not only on the football field, but as a student athlete with high character.
Spinagle makes 1 foul, so the lead's back up to 12, 63-51. Feed inside. Nice move up and in by Adam Newhart. And Palmyra calls the quick timeout. So that makes it a 10-point game with 1:07 to go. Both teams in the double bonus. So all the fouls the rest of the way out will be at the line.
I'll tell you, 10 points. Palmyra's going to have to come out here and maybe run some trap and rotates, but Hershey does such a good job of rotating the basketball that it's almost like 6-1, half dozen the other. It could, you could end up losing a game like this by 20. You get a little lucky there, get careless with the basketball. You cut your lead. You're going to have to. Palmyra's going to have to take their chances at this point.
Hershey breaks the Palmyra pressure in the backcourt. Ahead to Brantley. Up and good.
And that's
give him 2 more and a foul.
That's what we're talking about here. I know Todd McCall's. There's our rinse replay. I don't know. I'm putting out my vote for player of the game. What do you think? What are you thinking, John? Let's tally up our votes here, guys. Huffman Ford, player of the game.
It's changed since halftime.
It's changed since halftime.
Halftime, my leading candidate was John Miller.
Well, Johnny Miller with the threes, or Brantley, I would think too, was an idea.
Yeah, but you expect that from Brantley and not necessarily from Miller. So I was going to give him the edge on that. But in the second half, when the game was on the line, when Palmyra was making the run and got it down to 5, that's when Mr. Banis stepped up and took control.
Yeah, and not just on scoring baskets, because Matt's up to about 15, 16 points a game right here, right now. But the block shots, the rebounds, the putbacks. Well, we got Todd McCall saying Harold Brantley. Okay, we got John Reppert saying Matt Banis. I'm thinking Matt Banis because of this second half. And Mike Bullock, you got to help decide it for us. Okay, Mike Bullock's vote is in here. He's going with Matt Banis as well here. Actually, I'm sorry, Todd wanted Matt Banis as well.
Right.
So we're actually 4 for 4 here.
And we'll make it unanimous.
And we got to keep the B&B brothers happy together here. Got to keep that relationship going, Banis and Brantley. Now, Mike, if Hershey starts making T-shirts that say the B&B brothers, you know where that happened. That started in this game right here.
Get it copyrighted quick.
Yeah, copyright on that.
Get the rights to it. 27 seconds left. It's a dozen-point game. The Cougar Nation had not a whole lot to cheer about the first half. Really came alive in the second because their Cougars made a game of it. Looked like it was going to be a blowout, but they cut it down to 5 points but could not get any closer. Hershey has now assumed control. Late in the fourth quarter, they lead it by 12.
Yeah, and stay tuned. As soon as the broadcast ends, we're going to go right to our player of the game, Huffman Ford player of the game, Matt Banis, and Todd McCall is going to have an interview with him. Then we're going to come back after that, and John, Todd, and myself will do our post game and give a wrap-up here from Palmyra, Pennsylvania.
So 27 seconds away from putting this one in the books, in the third win of the year for the Hershey Trojans. But the Cougars aren't going to go easily. They're going to make them earn it. They're going to walk the other end of the floor and go to the foul line.
Second personal foul. Dan Jackson shooting 2.
Be interesting to see what Coach Paul Blackburn has to say after the game as to whether or not he was starting to get a little nervous there early in the fourth quarter.
Oh, Coach.
He never shows the emotion a whole lot. He's very even keel throughout the whole game. And I'm just kind of curious as to whether he thought it was going to get any closer.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Blackburn's been in a lot of these situations, so I don't know if nervousness is the but I think he might be thinking, this is a chance for his team to show and prepare themselves for down the road and to show that they have poise under pressure.
And certainly they have. It's kind of a little of everything tonight from the Trojans. They came out and played a dynamite first half when it's almost like they couldn't miss. Everything was working. Then in the third quarter, early fourth, things started to go cold for them. And then they're able to kind of flip the switch and get it going back in gear.
Well, and I got to, before we go off here, one thing we got to talk about is, Palmyra Cougars, it's been, Coach Conrad came in a tough situation, and this is a this team's going to win ball games this year, Palmyra, and it's on the hard work of these players. But the response, that there's another rebound by Banis, but they've given this coach a lot, and this coach has given them a lot. Hats off.
So let's put this one in the books. It's now final. Hershey comes out on top of Palmyra. Final score 69-55. 14-point game. Didn't look like it was going to be that way just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, all right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and get our player of the game, Matt Banis, here in a moment.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1953, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us, we believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
High School Sports Live is brought to you by
Hemp Brothers, paving the way in concrete, asphalt, crushed stone construction services. Keystone State Games, Pennsylvania's largest amateur athletic festival. NK Sporting Goods, partnered with NK Graphics, has been outfitting the teams of Central PA for over 25 years. United Concordia, ensuring America's dental health for over 40 years. Regen Muscle Recovery Beverage. Experience the raw power of natural cocoa. Groff Tractor and Equipment, we're your #1 source for everything under construction. Sun Motor Cars, come experience Central PA's ultimate driving headquarters.
Alongside Paul Blackburn and Matt Banis, the MVP or player of the game in tonight's game. First of all, Coach Blackburn, there was some surprises from your guard play early on in Miller and Murray. They hit some outside shots, and I think it helped you guys build a big lead.
Absolutely. We ran with Brantley in the middle, and when they doubled, it left people open, and guys like Miller, Murray, guys capitalized on that. A lot of part of that, too, was they were really tight on Matt tonight, and they couldn't double off of him, and they had to double Harold, so it left people wide open, and to their credit, they stuck the shot.
But when the game got tight, talk a little bit about what Matt Banis did, and just great passing, great floor awareness, and moves so well without the ball. Talk about his leadership to help you pull out this victory when the game got close.
Well, I think he has a lot of confidence in his teammates. He doesn't have to go out every night and do everything by himself. He's got a lot of talented, good basketball players, very competitive players to play with him. And he does a great job finding the open person, rebounding. He blocks shots. He does a little bit of everything every night, just like the opening weekend. He had a ton of block shots, a ton of rebounds, a ton of assists. Like, he just does a little bit of everything that when he's on the floor, he makes everybody else better around him.
Well, he certainly does. And Coach, we're going to let you get back with your team. You're 3-0, best in the future.
Right,
we'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
Matt Banis, talk a little bit. He had 14 points tonight, double-double, and 4 or 5 block shots. But the adjustment of the inside game, and you really affect a lot of shots on the opposing team. Talk a little bit about your aggressiveness.
Yeah, well, it didn't start off too hot, but the great thing about our team is, we're so deep. We have guys who can step up. We saw Johnny and Addison hitting threes. Harold Zumway does every night. So when we knew they were going to make a run in the second half, they're a very dangerous team with the way they shoot the three. So just the way we were able to break their pressure in the second half and get up the floor and make the most of our opportunities really helped us.
Matt, what our team was most impressed with you was your court awareness and your movement without the ball. Talk a little bit about how your game's developed to this point.
Yeah, well, it's easy. I'm playing with these guys since I was in 6th grade. They're my brothers, and I basically know where they are at all times with Harold and Jimmy when he gets healthy again. So it's really getting easier and easier just to find everyone and know where we are.
One last key question. In order to win this division, what do you think is the one thing that your team will have to do?
Focus every night, bring it every night. There's no off days in this league, in this conference. It's just too good. So if we stay focused every night, I think we got a chance.
John, Charlie, I'm standing beside a very focused young man. And as you can see, Matt Banis, the MVP or the player of the game tonight in this first rivalry. We'll take a break and be right back with more post-game after these messages.
When my dad opened Hoffman Ford in 1950, this was the model that you could drive out of the showroom.
In the past 59 years, yes, things have changed, but one thing still remains the same. There's always been a Ford and a Hoffman in our showroom.
Through 3 generations, the Hoffman Ford family has believed in always treating their customers with the courtesy and respect that they deserve.
Passed on from our grandfather to our father and now to us. We believe these values will bring another 59 years of success. Bigger selection, better deals, Hoffman Ford.
Knoll Insurance, located at 704 Bridge Street in New Cumberland. They offer property, casualty, auto, homeowners, health, and life insurance. Knoll Insurance also offers notary services. Call Knoll Insurance today at 774-8128.
There's something to be said for a company that has survived the Great Depression, weathered a handful of recessions, and emerged from today's challenging marketplace stronger than ever. And it's worth noting that success has come while keeping its headquarters and decision-making local for more than 80 years. Perhaps growing deeper roots to ensure strength and stability is an idea whose time has come. We figured that out 8 decades ago. Penn National Insurance.
High School Sports Live is brought to you by
Hemp Brothers, Paving the way in concrete, asphalt, crushed stone construction services. Keystone State Games, Pennsylvania's largest amateur athletic festival. NK Sporting Goods, partnered with NK Graphics, has been outfitting the teams of Central PA for over 25 years. United Concordia, ensuring America's dental health for over 40 years. Regen, muscle recovery beverage. Experience the raw power of natural cocoa. Groff, Tractor and Equipment, we're your #1 source for everything under construction. Sun Motor Cars, come experience Central PA's ultimate driving headquarters.
Back here at Palmyra High School, where the Hershey Trojans defeated the Palmyra Cougars by a score of 69-55 in the boys' game. Guys, late in the second quarter, Hershey had a 40-18 lead. Looked like this was going to be blowout city. Give Palmyra credit. They came back to make a game of it. It was actually 52-47 at one point. They came back to make it a 5-point game, but then Hershey eventually pulls away down the stretch.
Well, one of the things I thought I really felt that Palmyra did a better job in the second half was make adjustments against the zone. Penetrate a little bit, get them off their feet, kick outside, and the guards knocked it down. But what happened when that game got close is I felt they went back to the 3 ball. They didn't get inside and get those easy looks that I thought that they probably could settle for 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, and they're up against it with the size disadvantage. And, Palmyra doesn't have a 6'8.5". They don't have a guy 6'5.5" this way and 4'5", 40 and all that athleticism. But they did what they could, and Coach Conrad's, there's a lot of building blocks here for this one for Palmyra.
Okay, what did the teams take out of this? Hershey obviously had things their way, faced some adversity, and came back. Palmyra had the adversity early, came back, made a game of it, but came up a little bit short. So what does each team take out of this effort tonight?
Well, I think Pete Conrad's telling his team, I was very impressed with the comeback. They could have just laid down and died. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow when they go into practice, the thing that they'll talk about is you have to start and finish well and start well. And I think if they can adjust a little bit on what happened to them in the first quarter when they saw that different zone look, maybe just adjusted that zone early on. And I think they're going to be a really tough team in this division.
Oh, yeah. Talking to Coach Rogers the other day and a few of the coaches, Palmyra is the team, like we mentioned earlier, that it's like, don't sleep on them. And they're actually going to legitimately beat good teams in this division and not just at home on the road. But Hershey, I think, proved what a lot of us have been talking about is they got something to prove here. They want to accomplish something. They were Mid-Penn champions 2 years ago with Scott Etherton leading, and a lot of these kids playing and starting. They want to take all their experience, put it all together, and end on a good note with a championship under their belt. And it's probably not going to stop at trying for the Keystone, the districts, and maybe even make a run in the states. But I know Coach Blackburn's just looking to take one game at a time, and that's probably the best way to do it.
And even a little bit of talking Coach Blackburn just in the pregame, one of the things he was emphasizing is, hey, we wanted to get the first 2. We want to come in the league. We're on the road against Palmyra. We know how difficult it is. If we can get a great start, we think that, things will take care of itself. And that's exactly what happened. So, as far as his game plan, I'm sure he didn't want that closeness in the fourth quarter, but he got a playoff test tonight, and he mentioned that, and his team answered. When you've got big boys inside, like Brantley and Banis, they are playoff ready.
Okay. That's just going to about do it for us. Just a reminder, coming up Thursday night, we're going to have wrestling. George Hartwick and I will be at Lower Dauphin as Lower Dauphin takes on Middletown on our first wrestling telecast of the year. Then next Wednesday will be our next basketball game. These same Hershey Trojans travel to Cedar Cliff to take on the Keystone defending champion Colts. That game will be coming your way at 7:30 here on ABC 27.3. So again, just a reminder, the Hershey boys defeat Palmyra 69-55. Earlier tonight, the Palmyra girls topped Hershey by a score of 56-38. So now for Greg Mace, Todd McCall, Charlie Fortney, and our Invecca Sports crew, I'm John Repitz. Thanks for joining us tonight for High School Basketball Live. See you Thursday for wrestling. And now let's take a look at some information from Advanced Hoops.
spring basketball with Advanced Hoops. 21 teams last year, featuring the top boys basketball players from all over the region. Advanced Hoops AAU features 10 to 11 player rosters, guarantees playing time, all man-to-man style play, and every player gets professional skill training along with top quality AAU tournaments. Advanced Hoops has helped over 25 high school athletes get scholarships over the last 2 years. Amazing results. I call this AAU with the follow-through.
The Advanced Hoops program is a one-stop shop training program. The most talented players in the area are playing AAU Showcase in front of college coaches with Charlie Fortney. Players of all ages can train with Advanced Hoops and get a rock-solid foundation. The coaches at Advanced Hoops have a great rapport with all the kids. Advanced Hoops is unique because we offer professional training in dribbling and point guard skills with Gerald Jarman, the point guard who led the greatest upset in NCAA history when the Richmond Spiders beat the Syracuse Orangemen. Gerald is a master at building confidence in point guards and ball handling skills to all age groups. Charlie Fortney's shooting instruction is amazing. He has helped so many high-level players get a great shooting foundation for the college level. He understands how to build a player's shot right from where they are. The spring 5-on-5 games registration is going on right now, and this in-house training has revolutionized the ability of players all over the region. Advanced Hoops is registering boys and girls from 5th to 12th grade for in-house 5-on-5, shooting, and advanced dribbling.
Advanced Hoops is celebrating 10 years of training youth in the Harrisburg region. In 2010, we trained over 1,000 youth from kindergarten to 12th grade. Our spring program is going to be amazing. So as I pass the ball,
you make the call to get any questions answered regarding our spring games, shooting, dribbling, or AAU opportunities.
We specialize in making training look easy.
And Charlie is not the only one that can shoot a basketball around here.
Top circle, got in, going down to the sky, off the glass and in. Determined to go to the basket. Etherton down the lane, spin move, pump fake off the glass and in. To John Taylor, inside to Scott Etherton. Scott faces the basket. Turn around move. Scott's going to put it up off the glass and in. Has he perfected that little jump hook, on the right block as well as anybody we've seen? Cam Ritter, bounce pass to Etherton. Etherton, and it's good.